Hi everybody, welcome back. This is the Golden Era Bookworm and another article from 1946 September, Your Physique by Dr. Frederick Tilney. Told you before, I'm not a big fan of his articles, but this one's interesting. Sculpture your body with barbells. What I find most interesting about this article is that it presents the differences between bodybuilding and weightlifting. Basically, it is a new concept to sculpt the body with barbells. You need to understand, as I mentioned in a previous video of 1946, Alan Stephen wins Mr. America 1946. There's a good example there. Weightlifting was actually, you could say, more popular, or it had more priority back then as a sport, and it still does. But bodybuilding was attached as a side kick, you could say. And so bodybuilding competitions were actually always held after the weightlifting meets. And this is what happened, for example, in the 1946 Mr. America and in the 1945 and all the other ones prior, until Joe Waiter said enough is enough, right? And so this new concept of sculpting the body with barbells really was novel back then. Basically, bodybuilding was a novel idea. The article focuses on using barbells to create a piece of art with your own body. And as I said, this is a new concept at the time, especially post-war times, where this would be actually considered a luxury. Weightlifting and being strong was considered useful, whereas having beautiful muscles during the war was not. At the time, weightlifting was more associated with barbell training, but not bodybuilding. The word bodybuilding itself was not even used back then. Basically, the term weightlifter was used. Here's a good example. If I read paragraph 2 of page 29. Here, many folks would be astonished to discover what additional beautiful small muscles can be literally forced into view by intensive barbell training. Perhaps the term bodybuilders will be used more and more in place of the expression weightlifters. For the latter, weightlifters, conveys the idea that one has to lift immense weights, while with the former, bodybuilding, it is specializing on certain exercise with a moderate weight to sculpture and mold the body to beautiful, graceful shapeliness. That is the point I want to stress. And this is my whole point about this article. It really does focus on sculpting the body with barbells, which is what bodybuilding is all about. So, that was that particular article. This was that photo I told you of John McWilliams, who won the best arms in the 1946 Mr. America. You can see how huge he is. He's dwarfing this wrestler. He's absolutely enormous. There he is again, with his 20-inch arms. It says it somewhere here. Yeah, John won Mr. America. Best arms. Here we go. Displaying his 52-inch chest. 18 and 3/4 inch arms. So 19-inch arms, basically. Yeah, he's absolutely huge. And we've got some Hall of Fame photos with Mr. Washington 1946 and Mr. California 1946. Leo Stern. He placed 4th in the Mr. America 1946. And I don't know whether Robert Stange even competed. But he won Mr. Washington 1946. Looking very aesthetic there with a vacuum. Right. That's a small video. Again, mainly focusing on the concept of bodybuilding. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon. Bye.